Right now on RTV6 News at 5, a somber day for officers in the Fishers Police Department. The moments leading up to a violent encounter that led to a K-9 officer's death.
Red line buses struggling to stay on the road. Who will be responsible for the $4 million fix?
Many Colts fans have been questioning the team's kicking game, but the team is keeping its confidence in Adam Vinatieri. We'll have today's update from practice.
It's been a dry and cold day. What are our chances for some snow showers tonight?
And the red carpet is rolled out. The stars are ready to shine. The CMA Awards night in Nashville and here on RTV6. More nominees and the artists who are already winners today.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
We begin now at 5 with a deadly and tragic day in central Indiana. A K-9 officer killed in Fishers, 3 lives lost in a mobile home fire in Martinsville, and a man killed along I-465 after getting out to check a flat tire. Let's start tonight with the Fishers K-9 officer shot and killed in the line of duty.
This is 5-year-old Harley, who died during a manhunt overnight. It happened during a manhunt for 2 suspects. The incident began when officers attempted to stop a possible drunk driver just after midnight on I-69. After a brief chase, the suspects stopped in the Saxony neighborhood. Police say the driver, 19-year-old Richard Garrett Jr. of Indianapolis, ran from the vehicle. The passenger, 19-year-old Rashana Faro, also of Indianapolis, was arrested. Officer Harley was deployed to stop Garrett. Shortly thereafter, an officer heard a gunshot and Officer Harley went missing. After several hours, Garrett was arrested and later K-9 Officer Harley was found dead.
He came onto the department in 2015 and he has a very successful career with us. It is my belief that he saved lives last night, and we're thankful for his sacrifice.
Harley was a 5-year-old Belgian Malinois and the first line of duty death in the Fishers Police Department. Police say that if you would like to help, you can make a donation to the Fishers Police Foundation. A service to honor the life of Harley is being planned and details will be announced at a later time.
3 people are dead after a mobile home fire in Martinsville. Firefighters were called to South Outer Drive around 1:30. Firefighters say the flames engulfed the mobile home. And when they finally put out the fire, crews found 3 bodies inside. The state fire marshal and arson investigators are looking into the cause. The identities of the victims have not yet been released.
New information from state police tonight on how to protect yourself if you get a flat tire on the highway. This comes after a man was hit and killed on the south side of I-465 this morning. It happened around 5 a.m. near Washington Street. Police say the man pulled over on the shoulder and got out to look at his tire. That's when they say another driver hit him. Police are calling this a tragic reminder of the dangers of finding yourself stranded on the highway. They say if you need to pull over, you should find an exit if you can.
You do find yourself in that situation, and if it's something so simple as a flat tire, I recommend doing your best to drive off the highway, especially in a urban area where there's plenty of exits. Drive to the next exit and get somewhere safe. Even if you ruin the rim on your car, it is the safer thing to do.
Police say the second driver involved in the crash this morning stayed on scene, and they do not believe drugs or alcohol are involved.
Only on RTV6, the Indigo electric buses are already showing signs of trouble as the temperatures plunge. It's a problem Call 6 investigates, first exposed in March, and now it's happening. Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez reports on the challenges and the multi-million-dollar fix.
The city's red line system is under pressure to keep its promised schedule of buses showing up on time. It's a challenge as Indy's weather is getting colder.
Grab that snow brush and throw it in your car. Everybody is at or just below freezing. 44 in Indy right now.
In the past 2 weeks, as the thermometer hit 50 degrees and below, buses, which left the garage fully charged, fell victim to the cold. Their SOC, which stands for State of Charge, became too low to complete their route. They were pulled out of service to be recharged. Is Indianapolis a guinea pig for BYD? You seem to be committed to this technology and giving them the best, giving the company an opportunity to make it right.
Well, at the end of the day, we have a contract, and they have promised to deliver a solution that will work for our application. If we were to make a decision to send those buses back, that means that we would have to stop redline service. And we're committed to providing the redline service, and the company is committed to holding their part of the deal in the contract.
Call 6 investigates obtained information showing at least 9 buses unable to keep a full battery charge since November the 1st and requiring replacements to take their place on the red line. Indigo says it knew this was going to happen. That's why the bus manufacturer, BYD, is offering to install 2 charging stations to help address the problem. Indigo says BYD will spend $4 million on that project at no cost to taxpayers.
So each time the bus reaches this en route charging location at the end of the route, it'll charge for about 10 minutes. And that'll basically allow that bus to operate indefinitely out there on the road for up to, 15 hours potentially, well beyond the 275 miles that we originally spec'd.
The new charging stations are expected to be installed after January, which on average is the coldest winter month in Indiana.
As the technology continues to evolve and we look at placing our next order, we'll make some really tough calls, and we'll have to look at whether we exercise existing options with BYD or whether we go out to bid and have another manufacturer provide these vehicles.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
Rafael, thank you. A total of 29 buses serve the Red Line. 18 buses are on the route at any given time. The other 11 are on standby when needed. After we broke this story on Good Morning Indiana, our Call 6 team learned that more buses were impacted by the cold. On Veterans Day, 3 buses were pulled because of low battery power between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. On Tuesday, the next day, 2 more buses were pulled between 11 p.m. and midnight. Call 6 Investigates has also learned of another issue popping up for Indigo. Indigo says all the medians along College Avenue will have to be removed and replaced. Those medians are meant to keep vehicles in their lanes and prevent illegal turns along the red line. This is an issue with the installation job. People illegally driving over the medians have also contributed to the problem. Indigo is working with the contractor on a replacement plan. The cost of that plan is still up in the air.
Okay, Kevin, well, the buses are struggling a little bit in the cold, and I think a lot of us are too.
Yeah, second day in a row, record temperatures, single-digit lows. There won't be a third day in a row. That's the good news as we start to slowly dig our way out of this, so to speak. I guess I shouldn't say dig when I'm showing you some snow on radar. We're not going to be shoveling. We may have a couple of flurries. That's really about it. Let's get closer to the Wabash River, just west of Williamsport, Veedersburg, Covington. These flurries drifting along Interstate 70. Some of this may not even be reaching the ground, but you can see back to the west some more snow showers in Illinois. So we'll include that this evening with our clouds. That will keep temperatures from falling off as much, and we just talked about the flurries around. Wind chill temperature still significant. 16 is what it feels like. 13 in Peru for the evening hours. Couple of flurries and snow showers between now and 11, and here's your temperature trend staying in the 20s through 11.
An historic day on Capitol Hill. For only the 4th time in our nation's history, an impeachment inquiry into the President of the United States is underway. As you saw here on RTV6, Indiana Congressman Andre Carson presented some of the questions today to the first witnesses during a hearing in front of the House Intelligence Committee. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi reports.
Before Congress and the American people.
If you would both rise and raise your right hand.
The U.S.'s top diplomat to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, and the senior State Department official, George Kent, testified in a historic impeachment hearing into President Trump. Both men publicly stating their understanding that President Trump had ordered nearly $400 million in military aid held from Ukraine until the country's leader announced an investigation into the Bidens and the 2016 election. Kent then adding,
the possibility of a White House meeting was being held contingent to an announcement.
During his testimony, Taylor explained why he described the situation as, quote, crazy in a text exchange with European Union Ambassador Gordon Sondland when he learned about the stipulations.
It's one thing to try to leverage a meeting in the White House. It's another thing, I thought, to leverage security assistance.
But the most significant development to come out of the hearing was Taylor's revelation of a phone call that he recently learned about. Taylor says on July 26th, one day after the president's controversial call with Ukraine's president, his staffer overheard the president asking Sondland over the phone about, quote, the investigations.
Ambassador Sondland told President Trump the Ukrainians were ready to move forward.
According to Taylor, the staffer then asked Sondland what the president thought about Ukraine.
Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for.
During the hearing, Republicans tried to discredit and dismiss Taylor and Kent's testimony.
Never did.
You never met the president?
That's correct.
This is what I can't believe, and you're their star witness. You're their first witness.
And today, Democrats have announced that they've scheduled 2 more closed-door depositions for this week, starting with David Holmes, an official working at the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine, whom sources tell ABC is the staffer that Taylor mentioned. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Another witness is set to appear at another hearing on Friday. The Colts are getting back on the practice field today ahead of their Sunday matchup against the Jaguars.
Sunday's loss to the Dolphins had many talking again about the team's kicking issues, but plenty of confidence from the Colts today. Here's Brad Brown with the latest now.
Hey, thanks, team. This is not the first time the Colts have had to address a crucial miss by Adam Vinatieri this season, but because it's happened more than once, the tension among fans is growing a little more. The Colts did have a tryout with 4 other kickers on Tuesday, but as we speak, Vinatieri will still be their guy. Let's give you a look at practice this afternoon. The Colts going inside. We got a look at Vinatieri doing some kicking, including a 40-yard field goal straight down the middle and just fine. Same for a couple of extra point kicks as well. Jacoby Brissett looking just fine, good to go. Head coach Frank Reich back behind the podium today, but much like many other things we've seen from Reich, he's taking a level-headed, old-school approach to the team's kicking conversation.
From the position I sit and knowing all of the factors that go into the loss, it makes it easier for me to have perspective on it and say, you know, this is the way we're going. You know, Marv Levy used to say this all the time, great Hall of Fame coach. You know, you treat everyone fairly, but not everyone the same. So I would think it makes sense and everyone understands that, you know, with 24 years of what he's done, you know, that there's a sense where he's going to, you know, well, we believe in him. And so if you're going through a rough patch, we're going to be a little bit more patient than normal.
As for the quarterback situation, Brissett was a full participant in practice today. Coach Reich had said a good day of work means Jacoby will start for Week 11. That seems to be the case for now. We'll have more from the Colts coming up for you on the news at 6.
Brad, thank you. A stunner in college basketball last night has people asking on Twitter today, where's Evansville? That's not us, of course. The University of Evansville Purple Aces knocked off #1 Kentucky. 67-64 was the final score. Evansville head coach Walter McCarty was an All-American player at Kentucky.
I got a good group of guys. I really do. They love each other, and they're very connected. And with this group, to bring this group in here and to be able to do that, it's just awesome, and not getting better than that.
Their team deserved to win. If we would have somehow pulled it out, you know, it would have been wouldn't even have been fair because they fought us the whole game and they were the tougher team. My hat's off to them. It's hard to do that in this building, but they were more ready to play. He had his team better prepared than I had my team.
Well, as you can imagine, utter joy and pandemonium in the Evansville locker room after the game there. The Purple Aces host IU Kokomo tomorrow.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. It's an idea we've explored in hiring Hoosiers, and it's spreading across the nation. How a proactive program is teaching prison inmates life skills and giving back to the community at the same time.
But first, the CMA Awards are just hours away. The red carpet is open. Tonight, we talk with one group up for not one, but rather 2 awards tonight.
Call, click, or visit a store today.
Well, the stars are coming out in Nashville, Tennessee as the red carpet is now open ahead of tonight's CMA Awards at Bridgestone Arena. You're looking live right now at the group Gone West right there. Everyone's showing off what they're wearing into the Bridgestone Arena tonight. Should be a star-studded event tonight.
Everyone is looking fabulous. We've had our eye on the red carpet this evening and seeing a lot of stars lining up. It's going to be a good show tonight.
And we'll be checking in back and forth tonight. That star-studded night is in store just hours away in Nashville, hosted by Carrie Underwood, Reba McEntire, and Dolly Parton.
It's a night designed to celebrate women in country music, and it just so happens the most nominated artist tonight is a woman, Maren Morris, with 6, including Female Vocalist of the Year. One group that will hear its name called not once but twice tonight is Midland. For being relative newcomers, they've already garnered a lot of attention from the CMAs. The trio from Texas was nominated for 3 awards last year and performed during the show. This year, they're up for Vocal Group of the Year and New Artist of the Year. We caught up with them on Friday at the Old National Center in Indianapolis and asked them about the 2 nominations.
They both feel great. You know, it's we're kind of in our own world doing what we do, and we're a touring band, a traveling band. We make our biscuits out on the road. So you know, to get those nominations, it kind of almost feels surreal. And we don't live in Nashville either, so it's an opportunity for us to go in and immerse ourselves in the Nashville country music world.
I hope they enjoy it. Joining Midland in the vocal group category, Our Lady Antebellum, Little Big Town, Old Dominion, and Zach Brown Band. And in the New Artist of the Year category, they're up against Cody Johnson, Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce, and Morgan Whalen. And we don't even have to wait until tonight to know 2 of the winners. This morning on GMA, singers Maddie and Tay announced the winners for the Musical Event of the Year and Music Video of the Year live in Nashville. The Video of the Year went to Rainbow by Casey Musgraves, and Musical Event of the Year, Old Town Remix by Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. So a couple of early ones we know about.
And that's always fun to know now. Well, here's another live look at the CMA red carpet arrivals. It's still early there as the stars are just starting to trickle in out there. The red carpet only opened about 20 minutes ago. Coming up on the news at 6 and 7, Hank FM's Kara Dennis will join us from the red carpet as she talks with artists ahead of the big night. Kevin, I was watching you when we were announcing those early winners. And
well, Sophie, let me just say one thing real quick. I don't think that's ZZ Top.
No.
But he has the beard.
Right.
I don't know
that
my country artists.
ZZ Top-ish beard.
There you go. We've been working 9 to 5 today.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
I see what you did there.
So last night, ABC had the thing with Dolly Parton, which was a fun look back at her career, but those songs have been in my head ever since.
Ever since, right?
And then tonight,
coming into work like that today?
We'll get more. Yeah, you can't stop singing those tunes. Okay, it will be gradual, but eventually noticeable. That's the best spin I can put on this. Temperatures getting back to the lower 40s. We do that, and we're still 10 degrees below average, but we'll take it. Off to the north and west, right along Interstate 74, just south of that, southern portions of Fountain County. Some flurries between Veedersburg, Covington, and Rockville. They'll drift to the east toward Crawfordsville, maybe Greencastle. And you see some snow showers back in portions of Illinois. All of that sliding gradually to the east, and that's why we'll include at least a few flurries tonight. Temperature 26 in Greenfield, 26 in Indy. At least we're solidly middle to upper 20s. That's better than yesterday. Temperatures were stuck in the low 20s during the day. Wind chill is still a factor, but with the cloud cover tonight, that'll really, it's like a blanket being pulled over central Indiana. That will keep temperatures from plummeting to the single digits. In most cases, temperatures will stay in the lower 20s. 7 o'clock tonight, a few flurries, western half of the state. Then northern half of the state will call for just a couple flurries through 11 o'clock, and then we'll start to move on. Say hello to Sadie, and yep, Great Dane. She's only 5 months old. Look at those long legs.
Hey, Sadie, all right. Speaking of ZZ Top.
Yeah, as I would take her for a walk, I think I'd have to run, and her legs are very long. She'd be moving along. Temperatures, as we show you, pretty consistently in the 20s this evening. Eventually, we'll land in the upper teens to lower 20s during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures mid-30s or a little bit warmer. Our goal was to get above 40 by the end of the week, and we'll do that. Winds out of the southwest tomorrow, anywhere from 10 to 20, and it's a warmer direction out of the southwest. Temperatures to the south, not surprisingly, a little bit warmer. They had less snow in most cases. Ellettsville had a good solid 3 inches of snow, but 35 up in Kokomo. Friday forecast will dismount from the work week with temperatures in the upper 30s. Decent amount of cloud cover, and Friday high temperature down to the south right at 40. Good night for Friday night football. football cool. Temperatures will be in the 20s during the game. Next week, we just push it a little farther down the road. Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures return to the upper 40s, even overnight lows above 30 degrees. That's real progress.
That's going to be balmy. All right, thanks, Kevin, for that. Still ahead here on the news at 5. It is a supercar with a super price tag. What makes this car so special and something to dream about?
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Well, this is one of those things that hardly anyone can afford, but it is fun to dream about.
Take a look at this. It's the new $1.7 million supercar from McLaren. The Elva is an open-topped roadster from the British automaker.
Wow, look at that. It also includes a windshield made from air. Yes, a windshield made from air.
Okay.
When the car gets up to speed, air jets create a high-velocity sheet just in front of the driver and passenger. The Elva also has rollover bars that automatically deploy if sensors detect the car is about to tip over. McLaren is only going to make 399 of these, with delivery starting sometime toward the end of next year.
That's pretty cool.
Pricey.
Wow. Neat car, though. Well, a new idea to end homelessness. The key, less is more.
All new at 6, the big idea involving tiny houses. The hope for those struggling with finding a place to stay.
But first on the Now, Indy, it's a big concern right now with these bitter cold temperatures. A new effort to get women and children off the streets and in warm beds. You're watching RTV6.